Great, thanks. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our social media engaging with luxury buyers and sellers. I'm excited about the concept of this because I'm trained on similar things, but I really feel like it's a great way to reach the luxury buyer because who knows what demographic the newest and the largest luxury buyer comes from? Anybody? It's the millennials. The millennials have taken over in the luxury space. And so where do the millennials live more frequently than not? Uh, maybe at their parents' house, but Ariana said at home. That was very funny. And on social media.
Hi, I'm
Morning.
Susan. I was gonna grab my tea.
Penny, nice to meet you.
Penny, nice to meet you.
I apologize, y'all. I'm muting it right now.
Okay. There we go. So that was very funny. Yes. But at any rate, so the truth of the matter is, yes, they live at home or their parents' home, someone's home, but they also frequent often social media. Would you all agree with that? I also feel like we need to communicate with them in a different way than the baby boomers, than the Generation X. The Generation Z, I don't believe have really stepped it up yet, and that's okay, but they will be soon enough. Maybe we'll see. However, we really need to focus on that demographic because keep in mind, guys, what has been really moving is the luxury space. Now, we work with everyone. Luxury is a lifestyle. It's a level of service. It's not a price point. But the reality is luxury is moving, right? And luxury is what's kept us going. And that's a great thing. We work again in every space we can, but we want to focus our social media for two reasons in that space. One, right? Because why wouldn't we? We want to reach at those buyers and sellers. But two, we want to set the level of what people can expect when they work with us, right? So if someone's on there and they're looking and seeing that that is the level that you work with, it doesn't mean that they're not going to work with you if they're at 300, 400, 500,000, correct? Because also luxury people tend to do what, Maria? Work investors? So they may buy 10 $200,000 properties, fix them up and sell them for 500, right? I mean, so what is exactly Miss Marie McKee's specialty? So really, what is the luxury space? Well, it's a lot of things to a lot of people, right? Also, a lot of our luxury customers, they buy commercial and they buy residential. So we have to keep in mind luxury is not just one thing. But what it really is, it's a way that you speak, a way that you present yourself. That is first and foremost. It is about discreet, right? It's about being the way that you present yourself on social media is critical. I would have to say our brand for Sotheby's, I think anyone can say this better than Claire, right? Is our brand everything to us? Yeah.
I take it very seriously, and that's a lot.
What defines us as a company? Judy Green always says it's the gift of the brand. And it's true. I love that. When she first said that, I was like, what the heck is this lady talking about? The gift of but I like her, so I'm going with it. But it's true, right? It's the gift of the brand because the reality is who else has that to stand on? Nobody. And I have to say, especially now with all this interesting chaos we've been through, that really means a lot to a lot of people. You know, when you're going through a time of uncertainty and people are all wondering what's happening in the real estate market, they want to be with someone who has history, legacy, and that they can respect and they know will handle the transaction buy or sell side with a level of decorum. I think that's a word we need to think about. A level of being discreet, about not screaming from the hilltops who we're working with. You know, that's the point. If we're working with somebody, whether they're wealthy, whether they're famous, whether they're whatever, we don't scream about it. That's the last thing that they want. And this is where people who are not in the luxury space don't understand that. So they want to be all bright, flashy, put themselves out there, but that is truly not a luxury customer. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. I mean, anybody who knows anybody who has money, that's how they have money because they're not out there being flashy. The flashy ones are broke before you know it. I mean, right? My years coming right out of college, I worked for the 13th richest man in the world. You would never know it. He had a driver, but it wasn't a flashy car. He wasn't a flashy man. I mean, he did some of the things I was like, what do you want me to bid on? What? I used to bid for him at Christie's and Sotheby's. And I'm like, $250,000 for a Sconset? Does that seem realistic? I mean, but that's what he wanted, right? Whatever. But the reality was, it wasn't that he would have all his tailors. He would fly his tailor in from London. They would fly in the material, but you wouldn't know it when he walked around. He didn't walk around in, some ridiculous suits that you knew must have been right off the runway. I mean, that would have been so funny to see though, really. I would have paid for that. And I learned a lot from seeing the people on our board. Senator Robert Dole, the head of Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. These are all people that I spent my beginnings of my career around. None of them acted ostentatiously. None of them were loud, and none of them wanted you to be loud around them. They were all very under the radar, and that's how you had to do it. And that's the most important thing. I think a lot of people, of course, we talk about the nouveau money. That was a little different, but those nouveau money don't keep their money very long, do they? It's kind of like everybody, they say who wins the lottery loses their money, right? Because they want to go show the world they have money. That's not what luxury is about. So we're going to talk about luxury is about what, guys? What's the number one thing that is important to a luxury customer, buyer or seller? Service, yes. Experience, yes. How about the community they're buying in? Oftentimes, the community is more important than the house itself. Would you guys agree with that? So when we're talking about creating that social media, you need to think about how are you presenting yourself? You have to be a community expert, or maybe it's a lifestyle expert. Some people are very like, well, I don't know if I want to be in a specific area. Well, maybe yours is creating that lifestyle wherever they're going. Some people are really into sustainability. So maybe that becomes your niche. Some people are really into energy efficiency. Maybe you want to go so far as to get LEED certified. Although let me tell you, there's not a lot of builders doing that. But just the knowledge. And that's the key. It's understanding the knowledge of sustainability or LEEDs, or understanding not just the inner workings of a community, but if they like golf, what happens at the membership level? What happens at the community parties? What happens? I mean, it's the inner workings of everything having to do with that. Not just that there's a golf club and how many holes they have and how, there's so much more than just the course itself. Who built the course? What is the level of difficulty of that course compared to the other courses? There's so many more things that you have to understand. So if you truly want to set yourself up as that luxury advisor in that space, there's a lot of research you really need to do. So, I don't know, it's something I want you to think about as we head into this new year. Well, we're already in it, but as we move forward into the new year and we're creating that social media plan, I really challenge you to create a very specific plan. I always talk about my content calendar, right? But your content should be about the same type of idea. Now, you can change the theme, but you're going to try to show you're an expert, right? And if you're all across the board, you're doing all sorts of different things. Are you an expert? Because if you dabble in everything, you're an expert in nothing. Does that make sense? So as we delve in here, and we're going to talk about some of the things about social media, where people are, where people aren't, and what's going on, I want you to think about those key things. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, the shiniest, newest tool, you're using AI, you've got the best photography, blah, blah, blah. None of those things matter if your content is bad, right? I don't care if you have a professional doing all your videography and you've got it all awesome editing, you pay for all. If your content is bad, no one's going to watch you. Does that make sense? The number one thing you have to think about is your content and authenticity. So people are like, well, if I don't have this right about it, nobody cares. You have good content and you're authentic, people will watch you. They will. And the third thing, the most important thing, actually more important than the other two, just do it. Because if you focus too much on all this other stuff and you never get started, does it even matter? Right? That's the point. So many people I talk to, they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I ask them a couple of months later, how's it going? And they've done nothing.
Zip.
Right? I mean, can we all kind of relate to that sometimes? I mean, I can relate to it. Guys, I have some great ideas and I got a lot of things going. And people be like, Carrie, how's that going? It's going just not well, right? I mean, we can all admit that we do that. So, how many of you guys are using TubeBuddy? Oh, guys, come on.
How
Tube
many, what was the question? How many of you what?
are using TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy.
Oh, okay, I've never
All
heard
right.
of it.
Oh, goodness. Let's first share. We're going to go to my slideshow in a minute, but first let's do this. I got to make this bigger. Hold on. You can now see my screen. That's fabulous. Let's make it bigger. We're going to go to TubeBuddy. I want you to show there's some new things. Now, TubeBuddy, there's the free version, which is the light version, or there's a paid version, which is actually pretty cheap, I'll tell you. It's a Chrome extension. So guess what you have to be in? Chrome, right? It wasn't a trick question, everybody. That was that was not tricky. Okay, and you're going to put in TubeBuddy, you see, for YouTube. See, it says remove from Chrome because I have it. This is a really great user-friendly extension. So if I go into my YouTube channel, here I am. And everybody knows my YouTube. I use it a little different, but see, you see it right here. It follows you everywhere. I love that. But see, it's here and it's got so many tools and resources. Again, mine is free. I don't even use the paid version because I'm not going out there to try to create more users in my YouTube. I really use a lot of my YouTube to help give you guys content. That's how I've been using my YouTube for a long time. But if I wanted to try to build an audience, which I highly recommend you do, I would use YouTube. And I probably, dare I even say this? I know, guys, prepare yourself. I might pay for for the first version. I might. I know, because I don't pay for anything, but I probably would because their tools are so great. I love the Keyword Explorer because you want to see what people are searching for. So you're looking for a niche that you want to do it on, but you want to know that people are interested in it, don't you? Let's say you're saying, are people interested in energy efficient? You look it up and you say, nobody cares. Right? And you want to be careful because that really, what a great thing to do. I think a great thing to do social media on, you know what it is, especially videos? Solar panels. Huge, unclear communication about what our solar panels are good for. More importantly, what they're not. I would do a good, the bad, and the ugly of solar panels. And I would interview roofers that tell you that it voids your warranty. I would interview appraisers that tell you it does not increase your value. So it's not you saying these things, right? This is a great piece of content that I would create on YouTube. You guys follow me? Okay, but this is so cool. Suggested shorts. Click magnet. Oh, this is a great one. This is trying to get you some really good, remember, it's all about your hook, right? And thumbnail generator. Because we all think they want to see us. A lot of times that's not what gets people to click. I hate to say that, guys. So I'm going to stop this for a second. We're going to go into share what I have here, which is my PowerPoint. We're going to look at this real quick, and then we're going to go into some of the tools and resources. Okay, play from start. Okay. Yes. So one of the greatest things that I love that our brand has created for us, and it should be coming out very soon. It would have normally come out the middle of January, and now they're going to be coming out twice a year, is the Luxury Outlook. No other brand does that. No other brand is equipped to talk about luxury. We do. We have a whole report about what is to expect in the luxury market in 2025 coming out. Now, the only reason it was halted, Brad Nelson talked about it, was because of the fires in LA, which is a horrible travesty. So we could look for it probably in the next. Claire, have you got an update? Is it coming out this week, next week?
The luxury outlook, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't heard anything. But I would anticipate in the next week or so it'll be coming out. However, Very, very sad, right? What's happened. So I understand exactly why they're holding off on putting this out, but it will be coming out. It comes with tons of social media pieces already pre-created. It comes with emails. It comes with the actual book, which is a flip book. It comes with wonderful news articles, and it comes with, for your Outlook, not Outlook, I always do that, Active Pipe email drip campaigns. This is an amazing piece, and it has its own URL, luxuryoutlook.com, which is down at the moment because it's waiting to repost for 2025. I have it on my website, Luxury Outlook, so you can bring people there. On my Instagram, I have to see what's happening in the luxury market. Click here. It is a page that you could go to from my link tree, so you can see it. If you are going to be a luxury agent, you should always use this. This is what sets us apart. The other thing that sets us apart is we are Inman's luxury voice every Monday. You should be using that. Nobody else can say they are. So these are things that the industry recognizes only Sotheby's as the luxury voice. So I don't know about you guys, but I would be screaming this stuff from the hilltops. And it's not content that you've created. That's the best part about it. And it's all bite-sized information. So that's what's beautiful about it. Perfect, already set up for social media. And it's fabulous content. So this was last year, and it talks about what happened. So they said the luxury estate witnessed quite a finale in 2023. It talked about the significant sales, with the single family experiencing a 4.2% increase. Now, obviously, this is Sotheby's, so they're talking about the whole broad of Sotheby's, and not just nationally, or even just obviously what we have in our market, of course. And which is an impressive 14.2% compared to the previous year. So when you hear 4.2, you're like, oh, that's not that high. But if it's 14.2% over the last year, that's huge. See, this is the problem. People look up and they're like, oh, it's 4.2. That's not so great. And they just move on. Guys, that's 14.2% over the year before. I mean, if you've already gone up 14.2, how much can you go, right? So now I don't know what 2025 is going to say, right? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm just saying, you can't just take one little piece of information. You yourselves have to read it, understand it, to share it. Does that make sense? And it talks about new listings. Now, this was last year's, and I'd love to know. You can be honest. It's okay. I won't shame you. Maybe I will later, but I'm just kidding. Did anybody utilize this last year? Because I did
No.
talk. No? Okay, well, that's okay, because we have it coming out again. And because it has been such a game changer for the agents who have used it, our advisors are going to really be able to take advantage of this, because they're coming out with it twice a year now. And that's because we have seen as a brand such huge benefit of doing it. So just want you to know that's the first thing. Number 2. Social media's luxury impact on buyers. 73% of affluent customers have been admitted to being influenced by social media. That is impressive, guys. And why is it so high? We already said it. Because the largest group of the affluent buyers are now millennials, right? And millennials, God love them, are a little bit influenced by social media, aren't they? So if we already know that, what do we need to do? Jump on the bandwagon, influence them more, right? Why wouldn't we? They're telling us this. This is all over the news. We got to take advantage of this. Now, this was the best one I could find. It was from April 2024. There are some other ones talking about, more current, but I like this one because of the way they chart it. But still, Facebook is in the lead. Now, what's interesting that's not shown here, do you know what country has the most Facebook users worldwide? And it's about 3.5 billion users every day. Do you know? Take a guess. Take a stab. Anybody? Huh? Not China. China uses WeChat. That's Asia. No? It's an interesting one. I was totally shocked. And nobody else wants to guess. It's not US. We're number 2.
India?
What do you say?
India?
It's India. I don't know who said that, but you are right. Audrey, you're 100% right. India. I was shocked. Well, it does make sense they have the most people, right? But yeah, so if you just think about population worldwide, yeah. Mhm. But it is India. But I want you to see here. You have Facebook. Look who's number 2. Yeah, YouTube is number 2, guys. And I'm going to tell you something. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. I do not think YouTube is even social media. It's not social media. You know what it is? It's our modern day encyclopedia. Right? You know, people used to go door to door with the encyclopedia. You don't have to anymore because we got YouTube. Anything you want to know, where do you go search it? YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, I've been doing it for years, right? Oh, I want to learn how to do something. I'm going to check YouTube. Yeah, right? We all do it. If you think about it, right? How many times have you like, oh, I'm going to go check the encyclopedia of YouTube, right? I mean, we all use it. And it's incredible. And the people will videotape themselves doing it. And you're like, oh, that looks pretty easy. I think I can do that, right? How many things have we tried that you probably never thought you would have done, but you thought someone else could do it? I could do it too, right?
And then hire the plumber afterwards.
Right, because you totally screwed up. But that's beside the point, right? Exactly. Because we all become do-it-yourselfers and we're horrible at it. Right, exactly. Totally true. True story. And we all become real estate agents because we see people do it. But the other great thing about YouTube being an encyclopedia, different from social media, which is why it has to be part of your content calendar, is it has a shelf life that lives forever. Think about it. The content on my YouTube channel, if you guys look at it, those videos go back 3 years, 4 years, right? Because the content's still relevant, and now if it's not, I could delete it, but it doesn't matter. I'd have to delete it. It still will be there. It lives there. I mean, unless, of course, YouTube, because I'm the hate speecher, they may take it down, whatever. But yeah, it stays there. Facebook, you put a video out, go to try to find that. Where is it? Instagram, right? Where'd it go? We don't know. Now, not to take away from the validity of having that as part of your campaign. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it as part of your social media campaign. You should, but it doesn't have any staying power, right? People aren't going to go look you up and look for that video you did. Good luck. They're not going to find it anyway, except for GDPR. By the way, if you put it out there, they'll find it in your video library somewhere. So, keep in mind that if you put out something with a violation, they always find it. So make sure that, your content is good. But my point here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it, is YouTube needs to be part of your social media plan. It has to be. Okay. Instagram is next, right? Not a surprise. And honestly, I think it's risen so much too because of all the lawsuits against Facebook. You guys all know how they lost because, Mark Zuckerberg keeps the information. So that's why the Department of Justice, they go after him too, not just us, said that he's responsible because he maintains the information. True story. He does, right? But that's also why they kept narrowing down all our fun targeting stuff, which is such a shame. Anyway, but that's why Instagram has morphed a lot into a mini Facebook. If you guys notice that. So, but I think also that's why it's really increased in the popularity because people like me who are always going, you're just posting a picture and you're just posting a video. Now people like me feel much more comfortable because it's like a mini Facebook. WhatsApp, not a surprise, all those scammers. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great way for people to communicate. I know. Everybody wants to hire me.
It's always a ball.
I know. TikTok, will never take over. It won't. We know that because who owns it? China.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of countries that will not allow TikTok to be used. So because of that, although to make a video on TikTok, how much easier is that? Right? So easy compared to Instagram. But don't dare use the TikTok video on Instagram. You will get no showing. They will kill your algorithms because of that watermark that's created on TikTok. Just like when you take a YouTube video and you share it on Facebook, it's going to die. That will get no algorithm help at all because they're smart. Facebook, Instagram, they will not allow anything off their site. Everything has to be put up native. And they much prefer if you go live, you'll get the best algorithm boosts. You know that. That's still the case for sure.
How do you think
change with people leaving like Instagram and TikTok and going to like Blue Sky and Redline. Like, I think they said Redline this week alone has picked up over 1 million viewers.
Yeah, look, Redline's not even on there, so I don't know. But you know what? Shocking is like Telegram is still on there, which
I know, that's what I mean. Like, I wonder how it's gonna like function.
I really
or-
don't think it's gonna last. I think that they're gonna be, come and goes.
Yeah, and then they said if you change your TikTok algorithm and you change your phone to Canada,
Yeah.
it'll stay active. So like.
I don't know.
How do you?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, don't focus on any of that garbage. All this stuff is noise.
Mhm.
What's not noise is content. You gotta, first of all, let's say this. You already have a sphere that's they're already on Facebook and Instagram. 4 billion users on Facebook a day. Come on, are they all gonna like jump ship and get off Facebook? Please, no. And on Instagram, I think it's 2.5 billion every day doing stories. I mean, are they really just going to jump ship and go to Redline or whatever? I don't believe it. It's not happening. So don't worry about that. And YouTube, no one's leaving YouTube.
That's
YouTube, no one's leaving because that encyclopedia is not going anywhere. So, and no one can compete with it. And look, it keeps climbing and climbing. Last year, it was down to like number 4. The year before that, it was, so I mean, it's just rising and rising because the content is so critical. And it just stays there. So I'm just going to tell you, don't get caught up in that. That is where people get caught up and don't do anything, right? It's the analysis paralysis of what network should I be on? Who cares? Pick one you've already been on and post really great content. That's what it's about, right? Don't worry about would you agree, Claire? Yeah. Yes.
When you say Facebook, are you talking about an individual account or a business page? Because I used to do what everybody did. I had to. And then, of course, they caught me at it and they're very good at that now. My Facebook is locked. I have actual friends. I know you mentioned the other day that you don't like people doing that. Because I friends and family, people I actually am friends with. And I sacrifice having clients on it because then, if I want to post pictures of dogs or whatever, and I don't worry about it. But now I'm starting to rethink that thought process.
Thank you for bringing that up. So Maria asked, I don't know how to recap that really well, but she said, essentially, she had 2 Facebooks, Facebook business page and Facebook personal, and
Or too personal.
two personal. Maria as a real and Maria as a personal.
Because
I have 2 personal too.
This is basically useless to me.
Yeah, but
Okay.
here's the thing. Facebook requires, if you do any advertising, and this is not DBPR, this is Facebook. If you advertise, you have to first post it on your business page. And then you can share it. And that if you don't do that, that's where they shut you down.
Well,
I don't know if that's why you got shut down.
They don't let you have 2 individual pages. They will catch you at it eventually. If they haven't caught you, they will.
Well, they haven't caught me, but I
They
don't
will,
post on the other one, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
But they look for it now. The
Yeah.
algorithm looks for it.
It doesn't really matter. The point here is if you wanted to do it that way, what I highly recommend is do Facebook groups. So you could have a group of your friends and you could have a group, and then the content that you don't want other people to see, you put in a group. Yeah, I would do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, then you're gonna really use the groups.
So then you can have the dog pictures. or
The dog
whatever.
pictures and the food pictures and all exactly in your
Yes.
Facebook group of your family and your friends.
Yeah.
And it's not going to your customers.
With the family
Exactly.
members you don't really trust that are gonna probably post. it,
Right.
you don't
And then
trust.
make
Yeah.
sure you have it that you have to review your timeline.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Yeah, nobody can post on my timeline ever.
Yeah.
Don't even try, guys. You can't because it's all locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use groups, okay.
Yeah, use
And then
groups.
so you keep yours open then.
Yes.
For if you were real.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do.
Can always share it to your personal page as a person go into your business and share it on.
Yeah, yeah.
personal, if you want those
Yeah.
friends to see it.
I mean, I have the business, but I always found it useless because you can't interact with people.
No.
The same way. So it's like,
There's 2 points you need business. Number 1, you need business so that if you were advertising, and also so that you could use business.facebook.com. And I do like the Meta Suite. I like the way you can auto post. I like the way that you can see algorithms. I like the way you can see the content. I like the business Meta suite. I think that's the best thing that came out of Meta, to be honest. So, yeah, but great question. Mhm.
Permissions that when you post, you can only post to, and you can put people into groups.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Mhm.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you say group, I think you're starting a group page.
No, the groups for
Okay.
your friends that you post to that group. That's exactly what I was talking
Somebody
about.
auto post to Instagram and automatically going to Facebook, it would go to your client group.
Exactly. Or however you set that
Yeah,
up.
You have to set it up. from
You have to
Instagram
set it up.
or-
Great tip, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, here's the TikTok. Now, TikTok has truly grown as a platform. I don't know. I have heard that some advisors and some agents outside have done well with TikTok. I still feel really weird growing a platform for business on it personally. Has anybody here or online had any success with the TikTok? I know we've been doing it, but have, as a company, have you gotten any leads?
Yes. I
Huh.
have. I've gotten 2 leads over in Tampa.
And did they buy?
In the process of one buying, one selling.
Okay.
It's younger. It is like
Yeah.
23 or
Yeah,
24.
23, 24. Yeah, they are younger.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm not saying it's bad at all, and listen, if it is easy to post on it. I'm just saying for me, again, guys, you want to put your time and energy where you feel you're going to get your best bang for it, right? So I have never put it into mine because frankly, I don't have that much time nor energy to put into that. I would rather myself put it into YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And then I like LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a great place where businesses go. So if you're doing relocation, if you're doing people moving to this state for something, that's a good place to put good content. But please do not put the dog. Please do not put the food. That is the worst place to put that because that is not the place for that. Yeah, you're going to do, people are actually going to not want to look at your stuff because see, yeah, I bet you did. And they probably were relocation, were they?
For a job? Or no?
Well, that's the other place where people go for that, but yes.
Okay.
But it is for people in that space who have, are higher up usually in businesses too. So that's where LinkedIn is really good. Okay, so now here, let's talk a little bit about luxury homes, vertical country clubs, branded residences, golf, lifestyle, hybrid communities. These are really unique, interesting things that our luxury people love, right? But what you need to consider is location. Privacy is key. You should talk about privacy. People who are luxury want to know what kind of privacy. Wellness amenities. Focus on the wellness amenities. Lifestyle experiences, not just the lifestyle amenities, but what are the experiences you gain from the lifestyle? And people always still love latest technology. But if you're talking about technology, please don't talk about the Nest or the Ring doorbell or the old technology, because you're going to sound silly because none of that is new, right? So you really have to be up on what the new technology is. Like it's kind of like, and I'm going to hesitate to say this, but I'm just going to say this, the ePro certification. It's like you're getting trained in old stuff, right? What was new in that? Anybody ePro here? And it's still the same.
They're still, oh.
Yeah, they still have it. And I don't think they updated it much. Anybody in here ePro?
I don't even know if that.
It was.
No problem.
You paid for it, didn't have to go to class.
Probably it's the same. Well, I was talking to somebody actually on Aura about that, and I was like, well, the ePro is kind of a little outdated. Yeah, maybe I was talking to Ralph about it. But anyway, you want to offer, if you're going to put it out there, you got to sound cool and cutting edge. Like we're talking about a program of government affairs about this really cool idea, but they're talking about 3D printing houses. That's a little out there because now you also have to sound realistic. How are you going to pass, hurricane codes with a 3D printed house? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the Three Little Pigs still ring strong for me here in Florida, right? So, that's what I'm saying too. Like, make sure you test your theories before you put them out on social media because you want to sound intelligent, but you also don't want to sound like the kooky one with the crazy ideas because you want them to trust you and you want to sound like you're tried and true, not like, wow, she's got a lot of crazy thoughts. I don't really want to work with her.
capacity that's cutting edge and that's putting it out.
Yes.
You guys a question, say, I read this article, what do you guys think of this? That way you're not sound like an idiot.
That's a
People talk about-
great thought. Maria suggested if you see something like that, what are your, well, exactly, like I could say 3D printing homes. Do you think it would work in Florida? Question mark.
Yeah, then you don't sound like an idiot.
Right, exactly. Like,
them-
hey, let's build some 3D homes here and see if we can tie those things down. You think the
You'll get
big bad
people-
wolf will come and knock it down? That'd be a real fun graphic we could do, Claire, with a hurricane wind. With them. Let's not do that. We've been hit too hard this last year. It'd be
Duct
bad.
tape fixes almost anything.
And then Maria with the duct tape. Yeah, I think just this year's a little bit still tender. Let's skip that one. But anyway, these are the things I want you to think about, right? Real estate resilience, building for an uncertain future. This is one of the content pieces that came from 2024 Luxury Outlook. So this is where I want you to see they have such great content. It gives you an idea also to say, where can I maybe look into this to get other offshoot ideas? So if you think there was something in there about different types of funding, there was something in there about cash buyers using funds from other countries, and maybe I can't even remember that. That was a really cool one about currency exchange. But then you take it and you look into it further and think about the offshoots that you could get from that concept that you thought was interesting. So again, it's all about the great content. So here were some ideas. Why are international buyers buying here? Guys, if you want to work in the international market, you got to know not only why are they buying here, where the heck are they coming from? Does anybody even know? Does anybody know that last year Colombia surpassed Brazil with our buyers? This is the stuff you need to know. And you need to know why. Does anybody know why Colombia surpassed Brazil? Yeah, because they turned to communists. Exactly. The people are scared as heck and trying to get out of the country.
Because they know they let people vote for them in a minute.
And here's another thing, because right next door is Venezuela. And does anybody know what happened to Venezuela? The same thing. And first it started with a Khedive card. Does anybody know what that is? It only allowed them to take a certain amount of money out of the country. Then it was less, then it was less, then they had no money. Then they were strangled and they had to stay within the country. That is exactly what Colombia is scared of. And this is the thing. It's about understanding the history. If you're interested at all in the international buyer, you have to understand geopolitics. You have to understand what's happening in South America, if that's what, or Europe, or wherever you're considering working with an international buyer. Just don't put out there, I can work with international buyers, if you have no clue what's happening in their political landscape.
It's a lot more than just bow and shake hands.
Exactly. Like, do I have any Brazilians on? Because I think that the reais is like 6.25 right now. Flavia, how much is the reais? Or not? I think it's about 6.25. So right now, if you had a person from Brazil who purchased something in the 250s to 300s, they're wanting to sell because it's too much for them to keep up with that right now. Because now, unless they're like a really high end, buyer or sell, they're going to need to sell that because that's very expensive for the carrying costs. If they're still down there trying to now maintain that carrying cost when it was 250 and those, now that all things have exponentially increased, imagine trying to transfer that kind of money, whatever the HOA fees or the condo fees or whatever that property was. And a lot of these might have been condos. Could you imagine what those fees look like now? That when they first bought it was maybe 2% change, 2, now it's 3, the currency exchange, now it's 6.25. Oh my gosh, that's more than double what their initial, investment was. So these are things that you got to understand and know. So if you're interested in the international buyers, I love it. You know me, that's like, I'm all about that, but you got to understand the market. You can't, and don't, please, dear Lord, start putting things out there, because if you got a question, you got to be able to respond and answer, right? And then better research it before you do, because you don't want to respond incorrectly. Okay, why the real estate market has stayed as a strong investment. Okay, what would you talk about, guys? Let's talk about this. What could you talk about if you're going to talk about that? What would you compare it to? I would definitely be talking about the actual market, the Dow Jones. You're going to be talking about it compared to equities. You're going to be talking about it compared to what has happened historically, if you had different types of diversified products, right? look at what's happened in those markets. Just look at the S&P 500. How they, produced over the year compared to if you had a real estate investment in a certain area. That's a great comparison right there. I mean, if you had a blue chip, right? Some kind of a blue chip, how did that perform? If you had a property in Windermere, which would be considered a blue chip, right? Do a blue chip versus blue chip. I mean, that would be a really cool thing, wouldn't it?
Variable leverage. If I put $100,000 in the real
Yes.
estate market, I'm gonna get a return on 100,000. If I put 100,000 into the real estate market, I'm gonna get a return on 400,000.
Exactly. Cash on cash, right? So you don't have a cash on cash if you put it into the other market because nobody will lend you money to put it in that market, right? Whereas in real estate, you can actually borrow against your investment. You can't borrow against your, any kind of investment in the market. So yeah, exactly. So these are really great things if you understand that market.
If you don't, talk to me and I won't give you tips.
Yeah, talk to Maria, because if you don't understand that market, actually, please don't write about it though, because you will not sound good. You can get tips from Maria, but don't put social media. Types of new communities and living. There are new community types coming up all over the place, right? I mean, I'm sure, Linda, you've seen some new interesting concepts. Some of them are dogs that won't make it. Others are interesting.
What these putting together where it's like a community where advanced outside nature and gardening and all. That's the new concept in this area.
And because of what? Sustainability, right? People want to have their own little garden. And look, even Adina, the whole idea that it was all organic, even the grass you walked on, like there's some interesting new concepts. These are things that you might want to look into. If you're going to become a community expert, what type of expert are you going to become? I think it's great. Relocation guide, guys, if you haven't gone ahead and gone into the Pizza Store and bought your own Vibe, you need to do that, but you also can get the digital Vibe for Orlando free. And this is a great one that you should be utilizing to post. It's all about the communities that we serve, and we have one for Central Florida. It's a fabulous book. Continuing strong demand from buyers and restored confidence among builders and developers. So that was from 2024, but we know that even here in 2025, there's certain areas that are still exploding. And this is a great one. And if you choose to make that your area, I would highly recommend, why wouldn't you do some social media where you are interviewing builders? I would definitely do one researching what's going on with impact fees. That's a huge one that people don't understand. Why are people buying in Ocala? Why are builders building all like crazy in Ocala? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because an impact fee is $4,000, whereas $28,000 for an impact fee per home here in Orlando. Little difference. 18,000 in Point Siena. That's crazy. And then and do you want to go in? Because guys, that's another story. So these are things, buyers steer money towards sustainable homes. See, that was a big one last year. Another one to look into. And what is considered sustainable? They make carpets out of bamboo or whatever. They make what really goes into a sustainable home. These are really could be an interesting part that you might want to research a little bit. Hybrid work leads to busier suburbs. We all know that. That's definitely, yeah, exactly.
Going there and now coming back, we were back in the office and I-4 and the 3-hour commute there.
I don't know if we want to talk about that, but I-4.
A little bit of trauma in your butt.
Exactly.
The listings there now with
Yeah.
everyone who thought that was a great idea and now finding us drive back. Now
Yeah.
what's happening with that market there?
Exactly. Now we have to be careful though, because we don't want to deter people from buying.
No, it's
but
an opportunity to capitalize
it's
on the appreciation and experience.
absolutely to get
Exactly.
new sellers. Exactly. I love that. Now, what's new in the next home design? So who could you talk to see what's coming? You know what? If you know builders that have really nice design centers in the luxury space, they've always got new things that they're going to be putting in their design centers. That's always a good place maybe to start looking for there. So that's another idea of content that you might want to look down. Now, here's another one. We're talking about looking at a community from a new angle. We're talking about, but we want our people to experience the community, right? I'm going to recommend getting with a group like, Chad, this would be perfect with your team, and doing a online community Zoom. So making it like experiencing the community of, oh, or whatever community you want to do it. And you have someone at the golf course, and you have someone at the pool, and you have someone at, the wellness center, and you have someone wherever they're going to be. And then you talk about and show them while you're Zoom those things that you are sharing that are different, what makes that community unique, right? You're not actually doing the, hi, this is Carrie from Brutus. No, we're actually going to showcase the knowledge and what makes the community unique. So when we do this, we're doing it from a level, again, of content that is unique and special. So you need to have your content created prior to doing it. I would almost recommend, not that you need to be scripted, because, that's why we used to like to sit at KB and make fun of people. I'm not saying to be scripted, but I am saying you should bullet point the things you want to talk about, right? If it's a sustainability thing that they have at the clubhouse, if it's something really unique that they have at the golf course, whatever those things are, make sure that whoever's standing there, that's what they're going to talk about and showcase. Does that make sense? But this type of a community, and I would go live. I would do this Facebook Live. So you go Zoom. You go Facebook Live through Zoom, and it's really not about who's on it. I mean, if you get people on it, great. You could even talk to maybe who's running the golf course. You could bring the experts into this, right? But it's really, and you could go live on everybody's social media page at the same time. But the beauty of this is really the repost. You can repost this as much as you want. I would also create an event. So it's like experiencing Adina through the eyes of, wellness, or, I don't know, you make an event, you come up with a cool, fancy name, talk to Claire. She's got some great ideas. And then you get it out there. You invite people to the event. This is going to happen next Friday at 5 o'clock, whatever day. Obviously you don't do Friday at 5 o'clock. No one's going to go, even virtually, but whatever that day and time is. And then whoever's on it, great. If there are, it really doesn't matter, because you're doing this virtually, right? And if you have a seller there, obviously your seller is going to absolutely love that you're doing this, of course. And, you could show the home or not. It's really not even about showing the home. It's about showcasing the community. And you can tell them, listen, this one's the community one. We're going to do a separate one for your home. Because this one should be a standalone piece, in my opinion, for the community. Because again, you're trying to get more sellers, aren't you? And buyers. So this is going to be a twofold thing. And this is something that will have staying power, because once you have this, where else can you put this? YouTube. Because you're going to have it on Zoom. You're going to record it on Zoom. So now you can upload it also, even though you're going live on Facebook. So on Facebook, you could just repost, but you've recorded it on Zoom. So now you have a version that you've got a recording of this. So now you could take this recording and put it onto YouTube.
How are you recording it on Zoom? Because Facebook Live, you can't download.
No. But you're actually going through Zoom. Zoom is your medium.
So that's how you get a recording.
Exactly. Yes.
Or two, and do snippets of it and save that to Facebook and Snapchat.
But once it's done through Zoom, you could put it into iMovie and do whatever edits you want. That's the beautiful. It's a native file, which is what's great about it. And the other great thing about doing it through Zoom, you can have as many people as you want in there. Just think about it. When you go Facebook Live, you can only split your screen. That's all you can do. But see, here you're going Facebook Live. So you're getting the benefit of the algorithm, but you're using Zoom essentially as your camera. We did it with our, who was on, anybody in here was on our community Zoom that we did? And we did it that way, which took us a little time to get it going, but it worked. I've done it a couple times since. It is one thing you have to do when you do it. You have to make sure, I think you may also need the paid version of Zoom, like the $15 or whatever that is. I don't know if it works on the free version. I have the company version now, but even the first time I did it, I think I might have had the paid version, the cheapest one. So I don't know if it's on the free version. So you have to check, because you have to allow the live stream settings. So if you look at your free version and you don't have that, that may be why. And once you do that, when you're in YouTube, Facebook, you're going to make sure that you're connecting them, and that's how you're going to pick it as your camera. You're going to say, go live through Zoom. You're going to select that. I can show you how to do it. It's very cool. But so what you're doing is you're setting up the event in Facebook. You're going to go live on your Facebook page. And that way you're getting the boost in the algorithm because you're doing a Facebook Live. But because you've done it on Zoom, to your point, you can record it. Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to do it. Again, YouTube, you want to get it up on YouTube because YouTube is where you can get the longest staying power. So this video, I highly recommend you watch it. It is boring. It is hysterically boring. Living in Montana, what they don't tell you. This thing went viral very quickly. It's from a Sotheby's actually in Montana. And I had to look at this and go, why in the world did this thing go viral? I don't understand it. The guy is boring. He talks monotone. I'm like, what in the world? But first of all, notice it's not a picture of him. I think if it was, people wouldn't have clicked, number one. Number two, you see here what they don't tell you. Already, people are intrigued. And if you watch it, he starts to tell you about the animals that are going to eat you, how they have terrible Wi-Fi, like all the bad things. But he also tells you the good things. And that is good because the most important thing is he had a very clear hook, right? He got you interested because one, you wanted to see what they don't tell you, right? Two, he also, if you check Living in Montana, there's a lot of people looking for it. So when he added the things they don't tell you, that's why people watched his and not others. So even though if you had looked on keyword search under TubeBuddy, that a lot of people were looking for Living in Montana, he saw that it was a lot of interest, but to make his stand out over the other ones, he added things that they don't tell you. That was pretty smart. Now, the other thing, he mentioned how it wasn't locked down. And he's actually said, if you're from big cities, don't come here. He said some things. I was like, I thought that would have been really polarizing. I was like, I can't believe he said that. But I think that really did help him because people believed this guy's real, right? And so that's the point. He made him trustworthy. It's almost like this reverse psychology thing, right?
They want to be like, oh, I want to live where nobody else is going to come.
And you trust him because obviously he's not trying to force you to move there, right? Like this guy is obviously telling the truth. And it was over 7 minutes long. And the average viewer watched more than 50% of the whole thing. Which in YouTube, that's the thing. You want your videos 7 to 9 minutes because the longer they watch, that boosts your algorithms with YouTube. So if you create a shorter video, let's say you only did 5 minutes and they only watch for 2 minutes, then you get lower algorithms. So that was another thing that was very smart that he did. Isn't that funny? Yeah, you guys have to watch that one. You're going to be watching it going, no way. This is very funny. He didn't show his face, so people didn't think it was a sales pitch. And if you looked at a lot of the other ones, and that's the other thing in TubeBuddy, when you see the competition, it also shows you other videos you can click on. So most of the other people had their faces, and so people think, oh, those are salesy. I'm going to watch this one because it says what you don't know, what you should, and it doesn't show his face. So those were good. So, I'm going to say, and the last thing I want to say about this guy too, which is really, really funny. He was worried. He's like, maybe no one's going to like it. He couldn't believe how quickly this thing went viral. And once it goes over I think it's the 1 million mark or something, it gets huge boosts in actual algorithms. So totally take a look at this one. It's hysterical. But remember, you want to make sure that what you're doing, whether it's on social media or YouTube, you're attracting people with the idea that you eventually want to connect and sell to these people, whether it's about getting them to buy or sell, right? And I think that the wrong concept with a lot of these people is you think you want to just get them to like or view it. So how do we do that? We have to do it through a call to action, right? What good is thinking that all this stuff, great stuff is out there, but we don't get anything back from them. So always make sure for your neighborhood guide on, for your comparison between public schools and private schools, for your whatever that is, click below. Always give them something else related to the content that they need to click on. And on that click, that's where they have to give their name and email. Don't make it their whole life story because you'll get nothing. And I also don't, and then if they want to say, oh, to see how much your home is worth, don't send them to your gated page on Social Bay. Send them to the one on your website. Because the gated page, to me, they make people jump through too many hoops. I don't think a lot of people use that one. I think if you go to the one on your website where they just put their address in, you're going to get a lot more out of that. Because listen, if people want to tell you, they're going to tell you. If they don't, they don't. But don't you want to know they were looking? At the Social Bay one, they don't get that far, and you don't even know they were interested enough to get that far. So keep in mind, you could always say, because like if you did a Facebook ad campaign, you get 2 points of things that you could add. One, click here to download your neighborhood guide, click here to see how the schools stack up, whatever that is. And that is whatever they're downloading, right? And then say, hey, thanks for downloading to see how much your home is worth or whatever. You get another opportunity, 2 opportunities. But make sure you're using the opportunity that's not gated, because they already gave you something by filling in their name and email to get something. Don't make them do something else. They're going to be pissed. I don't think it's a good thing. Just let them go to your website and put in their home. Does that make sense? Okay. This is the TubeBuddy that we were already looking at. And this is the last thing. And I am almost in perfect timing. This is like a first for me, right? I'm starting the new year right. This thing is super cool. Spyfu.com. So this tells you how well the pages are doing. So take a peek. Claire, you might be interested. This is Premier Sotheby's. I just did it yesterday or the day before versus Sotheby's International Realty. So this is how well our organic keywords are working and how well our monthly performance is. You can see our paid keywords, we're using 40. They're using 16,130, just a couple more. But look how many organics they have. 1,763,920. And we're using 69,523. But they have a ton more traffic than we do. Their monthly Google budget, though, is not much higher than ours. I mean, it is, right? It is higher, but not a ton more higher. So, but look at the clicks. Our monthly click is 7. Theirs is 22,000. Is that crazy? So this is pretty interesting. So what I'm going to say is, where do you steal the keywords from? Sotheby's International Realty. Go right to their page, and this is what I want to show you. So, oh wait, I have to stop that. Did I stop it? I did. Okay, I'm going to stop share for a second. Then I'm going to share again. And I'm going to go to Google. Okay, so when you are in right over here, and you have YouTube, right? I can go to, YouTube, TubeBuddy, Sotheby's International Realty. Oh no, I went to their page. Sorry. I went a little too happy. Okay, Sotheby's International Realty. I went to their brand. But let's say I went to, let's get rid of brand essence. Let's go here. Okay. And let's see a new one. This is 4 hours ago. Only posted 4 hours ago. Let's see. See, it pops up and it tells me it's already had in 4 hours, 579 views, 5 comments, 100. The channel has gotten 195 million views, 411,000 subscribers. I mean, it's doing pretty good, right? Now let's see if I want to go to something that has been, this is 3 days ago. See, it starts like that, and then it pops up because of TubeBuddy, and it tells me, look how many views it got in 4 days. That's a ton of views, guys. Isn't that crazy? That is pretty amazing. So now,
Terry, where is it showing you on there what keywords they're using?
oh, okay, hold on. Let's go back. Thank you. Great question. Right here. See?
I can't see that on my screen now.
Can you see here?
It's just showing me like the top part of
There
the
you
video.
have. You can't see?
Can anybody else
Oh,
see
wait,
it?
hold on. I got that. Hold.
That,
No, these are their keywords that they used.
also they use other.
Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. I don't know. That's all I can say. I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see what this one. So, and so you could go through all of their things, even if you look through here. Let's see if we see on their shorts. They posted it when they posted the video.
Actual
No,
in the
video. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see this one. How long ago did this post? I don't know. I didn't see the time. Let's see. Oh no, I went to their website. Hate when I do that. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
You can see some of the views, like.
This is 10 days ago. But see, I love how it comes and then it comes back up and it tells me, look at that. And then you see again.
Oh, they've been tagged.
But you know who they're tagging? They're tagging Anywhere. These are all Anywhere companies, right? Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't think is Douglas Elliman in it? I don't think they are. So interesting. Now let's see what, can we go to Premiere?
It could be perception too, doesn't be reality.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, let's see what Premiere's done. Let's see recently. Okay,
The
Premiere.
ability on our YouTube channel to actually share these to our YouTube that Premiere's already done? Or is it not like Facebook? Like, is it-
No.
It's not like Facebook. It's not like that, so.
Let's
You
see.
just download it then and then reshare it. as
Let's
our-
do 4 days ago. So this is 4 days ago. See the difference? This is from our channel. Let's see. 7 months ago. Let's see. But that was only a couple days. So let's see.
I've been doing this.
Why is this not coming up?
better than-
Oh, it's a skip. Sorry. I'm like, why is it not coming up? It's a commercial. Change this. So this had a ton of views. So, you know, sometimes it just takes time. Ours takes a lot of time comparative.
People are sharing it on their social medias. And you know, that all increases views too, so.
So this one did well. So, but this is the point. They didn't have. Yeah. So, you know, some of it could be that. So why I'm showing you this, guys, is mostly because what I want you to do is if you're going to go ahead and post something, check out what things that are similar are posting, what is doing well, right? Can everybody see? Did I stop share? Let me stop share. I think I did stop share, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. And that's the point. Utilize these tools to help you get better SEO, get better shares, get better numbers. And that way, when you've got something out there that you wanted to do well, you know how to get better keywords, you know how to get better views, and you can start playing around with it. But that's what TubeBuddy helps you do. And I didn't pay for TubeBuddy. I'm still using the free version. Because if it's free, it's for me. But I said, if I was really trying to get more people, I probably would pay for them. But try it free first. And then if you want to do it, you know, you can. Because it really wasn't expensive.
Replacement for Bayview.
There are some other ones that are free. Who was it that told me about another one? Does anybody using a what's that called? A teleprompter app that's free? There was another one. What was it, Stace? Yeah, you're muted. You're muted. She's going on. She's
I
sharing.
sound terrible because I'm
That's okay.
all
So
hoarse.
better not muted. Better not muted.
Okay. Yeah, I use a teleprompter on some of my videos, but I've got to have to go back and see which one it was I used. But it was really great. You could save it and then go back and resave the video.
It was
I'll send it out.
okay. That'd be great. If you could send it to me, that'd be great.
It's slow. It's great.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I hope you guys all got something out of today. And I look forward to seeing you all definitely next Wednesday for sure. I think, do I have a training out for Monday?
No.
Oh, Monday is Martin Luther King's Day. So I will not see anybody Monday because it's Martin Luther King's Day. Woo! So yes, I know. I realized I hadn't put out a training for today. Maria's like, "Are we training?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh yeah, I didn't put anything out there. So yeah, so I decided to put this out there. So I hope this was a good addition. We're gonna have some really exciting stuff, which is some of the reason why I didn't fill in some of the training for February, because it's about some of the things that we're gonna be getting at the Wednesday meeting that I'm not allowed to talk about.
There may be a CMA coming out soon.
I don't know. I can't talk about it, Maria. So don't even make me talk about that. Okay. I'm not talking about it, but I will tell you whatever we're going to be getting, which is super fun and great. We'll be training on that in February for sure. In addition to our Peace or boot camps that will be coming up, as you all know. And by the way, not only will it be interactive and fun, there will be prizes. Yes, I've already got a couple. So it'll be very fun and I'm excited about it. And then I will be bringing out probably in March, maybe at the end of February. So get used to a little change up in some of the training because we were going to be doing some Relax and Learn series. And that means the training may be moved a little bit to the afternoon, a couple trainings, because they'll be introducing a concept. Then we'll be bringing out wine and nosh, and then we'll be doing a workshop on it. Super fun. So that is what's to come. Yeah, those will be fun. You'll have a good time. So I hope you all have a great week and I will look forward to seeing you soon. So take care, guys.